If you want to build a profitable personal brand in 2025, it's not about trends, gimmicks, or even going viral. It's about clarity of your story and being consistent. And look, I built a 7-figure brand without blowing up overnight. And in this video, I'll walk you through the exact 3 factors that I used to make that possible. Number 1 is your North Star. Number 2 is your authentic story. And number 3 is your content pillars. So let's break it all down. Your North Star is the foundation of your brand. It answers one really important question, which is, what do you want to be known for? Not a bunch of things, just one clear lane that you stick to. And look, when I first started in 2020, I wanted to help everyone with everything. And I was making content about happiness, fulfillment, finding your purpose, better relationships, cooking, fitness, nutrition, productivity, confidence, and fulfillment, etc. But oh my God, was that a laundry list? And guess what? None of it stuck. And my audience was so confused. So the moment I committed to being only about productivity and mindset, everything changed in my business because it was understood and I started to grow on social media. So your North Star really should solve 1 to 2 specific problems max. It can be easily identified by your viewers just by looking at your bio and the content that you've recently posted. And it should be something that you speak about endlessly. This is what keeps your brand from drifting. It's the reason people follow you. So I want you to ask yourself, what result do I help people get? Who is that result even for? And what's the 1 to 2 topics that I want to be known for? Write it, own it, and post about it every single day. The second thing is you need to realize that your story is what builds trust. It's what separates you from every other coach and creator in your space. But most people don't know how to tell it. They either overshare with no direction or they hide behind not actually being vulnerable. So here's exactly how I found mine. So I literally played 20 questions with myself. Where did I grow up? What did I struggle with? What turning points changed me? What values shaped me? Why do I care so much about certain things and not others? When I first started my life coaching, I focused on sharing my own personal struggles, where I had debilitating anxiety and I hospitalized myself 3 times in 1 week because of panic attacks. And I had no idea what I wanted to even do with my biochemistry degree because it wasn't fulfilling me. And I talked about my transformation back in 2015, how I got out of my anxiety with the power of mindfulness and meditation, and honestly, a lot of mindset shifts, plus doing a lot of different productivity techniques to get me out of my biochem degree and figure out what I wanted to do after I graduated. Sharing this vulnerability helped grow my social media, and it helped me get a lot of my initial client base as well because I was being super relatable and really authentic and sharing my true story. Now that I pivoted into mentorship, helping coaches build their businesses like how I did, I've had to shift the stories that I share. I now talk all about my entrepreneurial journey. For me, it was growing up as an Italian-American family in LA, getting told by my dad at age 9, oh, we're all gonna work for Eric one day, because I just kept winning at Monopoly. I also share stories about how I started a catering company when I was in middle school, barbecuing for my family friends, and making a bunch of money that actually then bought my Japanese knives that I still use to this day. I even share stories about how I became an Eagle Scout before high school, and how I tutored high schoolers and college students in chemistry during my undergrad just to pay for my summer studying abroad in Thailand, and even how I became president of my fraternity and led them through a massive crisis. I even share stories about how I failed my first few attempts as a life coach and working full-time in tech while I was doing it. What I hope you realize is that your story is what becomes your brand, and if it's aligned to your offerings, then it converts. Every time I post about my early days, people DM me. Every time I show the journey and not just the wins, people reach out. And if you want to build a brand, just start getting real. That's the shortcut. Now you have your North Star and your story, but without a clear content system, you'll burn out really quick. That's why we're going to talk about content pillars. These are 3 to 5 themes you rotate through each week. Mine as a life coach looked like this. My North Star was mindset and productivity. My pillars were sharing my story, giving mindset advice, productivity technique, and client win. But now that I pivoted into mentorship, helping coaches, my North Star is now entrepreneurship. And my content pillars are my story, but specifically how I built my coaching business and the struggles I dealt with, offer strategies and how to make specific tangible results, organic lead generation so you can use short form content to attract leads, sales techniques so you can actually be a leader and not a closer and not that salesy, and client wins, because that way I can showcase their transformations and them building their businesses. Having these mapped out means I never run out of things to say, and it's always aligned to my personal brand and my offer. So every Sunday I work on my content map. I open up my Asana dashboard, I track all my content ideas and my posts. I first ground myself in my North Star and what my content pillars are, and I plan out at least 5 videos, 1 per pillar, with the proven formats and scripts that I've found from other creators. And I batch shoot B-roll and talking head footage, and I can also repurpose old footage. Then I edit it, schedule it, and move on. Because the goal is to stay consistent, and stay consistent on the message that reflects what I am actually trying to communicate. So if you're just starting out, start with 3 pillars. Have your story, your advice, and social proof. You don't need to post every day also. Just try to be consistent. 2 to 3 times a week is okay, because clarity compounds. And obviously building a personal brand doesn't happen overnight, and it takes a lot of steps. But if you don't start and you don't have a clear offer that converts into leads and clients, then you'll just stay stuck. And look, this is not about going viral. This is about becoming unforgettable and profitable in your business. So if this has motivated you in any way possible, just click the link in the video description to watch a video on how to scale the fastest way to 20K months in your coaching business. And if you want, you can even book a free strategy session with myself or my team. We'll walk you through finding your North Star and honestly figuring out what your offer is, your content pillars, so that way you can build a brand that lasts and a business that's profitable. Honestly, if this video helped you in any way, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and again, just comment anything below that you want help with. I'm happy to make videos each week to help all of you build really great brands and really great businesses. Cheers.